Start our music back over, man. It was over vibing. Hope y'all can hear me. What's going on, family? What's going on? Salute, salute, salute. What's going on, family? We get straight into it. So this is what we're gonna be talking about today, man. What is the debt ceiling? Like, what is the debt limit? What does it mean to be hitting the debt limit? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about today. Also, we get into this Ron DeSantos laws that's been passed on the immigration laws have been passed, and a whole bunch of stuff, man. We got some interesting topics to talk about today, man. So we're gonna give it a little time, you know what I'm saying? Let it roll on in, give it a little moment. Let me get back to the screen, y'all. So we got this. What we gonna actually do? Let me see. I found that interesting. I'm gonna play that, but I found that pretty. Let's listen to this right quick. Let's listen to this right quick before we even get into it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lower this in the back right quick. All right, y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now is just setting up, getting everything together and whatever. But just trying to give it a little minute, you know what I'm saying? Let it warm up for like, average 2-3 minutes so we can get all into it. But y'all already know what's going on, man. They said and I was speaking on it on this telescope, and you are now watching the telescope channel. There's a couple of things that we're gonna talk about today. I was just giving them like a little moment, you know what I'm saying? Let everything like warm up and roll into how we gonna do this thing. But I think as a matter of fact, before I even start to share that tab. Let me share this tab right here. Let me show y'all something. Let me share this tab. Let me share this tab instead. So y'all should be able to see this right here. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I don't want no copyright. So let me turn that off. Go back to what I already had planned. I don't know how okay, I don't know how music started, but whatever it did. All right, let's get into it now. So we showing this right here, man. I thought that him saying this, if y'all don't know this Florida governor, he's running for president. Um, Governor Ron DeSantis, he made some comments on the debt ceiling and how he felt about Biden's decision to pretty much, I guess, I don't know if he said raise the debt ceiling, but let's get into it. Let's see what he said. I think this is Forbes, breaking news from Forbes. So, sleep with them for the content. Go. They're using educational purposes.
So I think in terms of the debt ceiling, what they should be doing is reducing spending. I think the idea that you would just raise it without anything is ridiculous. And we were $21 trillion in debt like 5 years ago, and now we're $31 trillion in debt. And I think Biden's position is you just keep spending like no end, and eventually it's going to solve itself. What they're spending now is significantly more than what Obama's budget, his last year of president, projected for this year. And even with what they're doing to reduce. So I just find it ridiculous that you would have Biden taking the position that there should be no reforms whatsoever to what the government's spending. So I think what they're doing to me is common sense. I don't know why you would want to continue going the direction they were going. Eventually, this is all going to cause major problems. And I think over the years, they've added to the debt. You haven't seen necessarily the crisis that some people predicted, but I don't see how you could go on this trajectory and not see something bad. So great to see.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, I mean, obviously, I'll see how he feel about it. I think it's a lot of Americans that feel that way. I'm just building a little context. So let's go to this one. This is the one that we was going to watch initially right here on CBS News, and they actually break down, what hitting the debt limit means for American households. But let's get into it.
We begin our report with the recognition that we are in extraordinary times. Treasury
And YouTube, this is for fair use and educational purposes. So let's get back into it, man. Remember, they said it, now we're speaking on it. I'm as a Telescope, now watching Telescope channel.
Secretary Janet Yellen has initiated extraordinary measures in order to keep the United States from defaulting on its obligations, now that the country has officially hit the $31.4 trillion debt ceiling. That's the limit Congress puts on how much money the government can borrow to make its payments. The Treasury Department has already started taking steps to delay a default. Right now, that means not investing in some federal retirement funds, but placing IOUs in those accounts that will be paid off later when the situation is resolved. Down the line, around June, the Treasury Secretary estimates, it could mean delaying Social Security checks, delaying tax refunds, furloughing government employees, and even closing national parks and museums. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell spoke about the work that will need to get done to keep calamity at bay.
I think the important thing to remember is that America must never default on its debt. It never has and never will, but we'll end up in some kind of negotiation with the administration. I think what the Secretary of the Treasury said today, she's beginning to use what they call
never has and never will.
I think this will have to be dealt with sometime in the first half of 2023.
CBS News' Scott McFarland.
Bro, do you see how much money that we owe, man? No wonder. That's why I feel like the balloon was over our head. But do you see how much money we owe? $31.4 trillion in debt, man.
Has more from Capitol Hill.
Humphrey Rutherford is enjoying retirement, but worried that
I don't know what that's about. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see what he says. Let's see what they say about Humphrey.
if the country can't pay its bills, his Social Security is at risk.
So at some point, it's still going to affect me. It may not affect me right away, but it's still going to affect me.
If there's no deal to raise the amount of money the government can borrow by June, it risks a market plunge, mass layoffs, and a spike in interest rates. The current 30.
I do kind of want to say why they made him the face of like Social Security, like the black guy. Why did they make the black guy the face of Social Security? But it's not. I don't want to make it a color thing. But let's go. It's kind of stood out to me.
$1.4 trillion debt is more than the economies of China, Japan, Germany, and the UK combined, and equals more than $200,000 for every U.S. taxpayer. Pennsylvania Republican Scott Perry said the country has overspent. He helped delay Kevin McCarthy's election as Speaker a few weeks ago and wants spending cuts before raising the limit.
The American people are sick of it. They want some responsibility used when it comes to spending their hard-earned money. And we're going to get after that. That's our pledge.
But the White House says it's too dangerous to negotiate over the debt limit, and a standoff with Republicans could lead to an economic collapse, a major concern for hardware store manager Bill Hart.
Just last week, I purchased for Halloween and Christmas. So in this business, you have to plan way out, especially when you're getting things shipped over from overseas.
The Treasury Department says tonight it'll halt some payments to some federal retiree programs to help buy Congress 4 months to raise the debt limit. After that, there will be no more emergency measures to employ.
Damn, so it ain't gonna be no more emergency measures to help people and employ people. So look, this is crazy. So he said that we in May. He said that he already done purchased his stuff for Halloween. What you say, Halloween and Christmas? That's like 6 months from now, bro. Like, If you got a plan like that, it's that bad, man. Come on, man. I don't know, man. America's crazy, man, right now. Let's go.
The Treasury Department says tonight it'll halt some payments to some federal retiree programs to help buy Congress 4 months to raise the debt limit. After that, there will be no more emergency measures to employ. John?
Scott McFarland, thank you.
About time, huh?
To help us understand this, I want to bring in CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger here on set with me, which is a delight.
All right, we're gonna kind of skip past this a little bit, but because I don't want to get the copyright scratch or whatever. But I also want to say, they said they're trying to buy time. That's so ironic that such a cliche saying, and when I was young, I didn't understand it, but such a cliche saying means so much. You know, time is money, right? We hear it all the time. Time is money, but now actually, time is money. It's a funny movie that me and my wife, we always referred to when we talked about this topic. Is the movie with Justin Timberlake, and I think it's called Out of Time or something like that, where people are actually paying for money as time, like currency is time. That was an interesting movie and take on life, how things is, because when you look at it, you know, if you're taking up too much time sitting in the house, or you're taking up too much time chilling around the wrong people, you're losing money. You know what I'm saying? Whether you spending money on them or you're missing out on deals that could be closed, whatever. But yeah. Money's time, man. Time is money. Let's get it. Let's kind of fast forward over here. I'm going to kind of get past a little bit of this because I do want to get into the Ron DeSantis. I can't believe that Ron DeSantis is getting sued by Disney, which probably has been going on for a while now because, you know, from what I'm reading, I'm saying that he wants to stop the development of Disney expanding, like, you know, their growth and their project of Disney World in Orlando. And he's kind of been putting that to a halt. So he's allegedly going through some type of sue with them or whatever. So we're going to get into that too. That was interesting. But if not, then anything, y'all more than welcome to hit the like button for sure. You know what I'm saying? When you coming in the door, but hit that link if y'all got anything y'all want to say. Hit that link.
Position after COVID, we had a lot of folks paying down debt. They built up their savings with a lot of the emergency measures taken during COVID. Now they're starting to contend with high inflation. Finally, that's coming.
Everybody on edge. Let's talk about a timeline, though. We're not talking about this happening tomorrow. So Mitch McConnell said it needs to be resolved in the first half of the year. What's your sense of when the breaths start to get shallower?
Well, I think that Janet Yellen's talking about June, and maybe they can stretch it out to a July or August time horizon. I think what's really important is when you start to say, hey, you know what?
She want to put a smile on it. She said June. That's the date. That's next month. And they said maybe they can stretch it out to about July. I mean, that's bad for the American people, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. We need better leadership. All right, so let's go to this. So I was watching this earlier. So oh well, this was interesting too, because all right, so this guy's just been making headlines. So DeSantis signs this law that's critical for you know, immigration and anti-immigration and stuff like that. People have been talking about this too. Let me show you guys this.
Is headed to the governor's desk, and it will provide millions of dollars for DeSantis and migrant relocation program. And local Dennis Hatzel is joining us live from Miami with the details. Hatzel?
Salute to Hansel and Local 10 News, man, for this content right here. That's a nice statue in the back.
Christy, Janice, ever since this bill was filed, it was deeply concerning for folks in the immigrant community as well as religious groups because of what it said. But now they're telling me that wording has changed.
The bill could have been a lot worse.
Archbishop Thomas Wensky has been vocal in his opposition to the state's immigration bill headed to the governor's desk now.
Unfortunately, it still has some teeth.
D. Claude say.
Oh my God, I don't know why when he said teeth, this guy looks a little spooky, man. I'm not gonna cap, man. I don't know if it's just me, but he does look a little scary.
Immigration advocates, but it's still.
Father, forgive me.
Scratches.
People are still subject to felonies, but that is if they bring someone into the state.
The final version of the bill requires businesses with more than 25 employees to use E-Verify, a federal system that checks employees' legal status. It prohibits local governments from funding organizations that issue ID cards to undocumented people. It invalidates out-of-state driver's license held by undocumented immigrants, and it requires hospitals that accept Medicaid to include citizenship questions on intake forms.
That is still very much a concern because it will create fear and keep our communities from accessing health.
Under the bill, the governor would get $12 million for his relocation program, which got a lot of attention last year when he flew a group of Venezuelans to Martha's Vineyard.
See, this guy been. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think that he might be running for president, for real. But and I think honestly, I think that he might win. But this guy, has been really making headlines and breaking news. He just signed this bill where, he just signed a bill where teachers have to now pay the they got to pay the union now. So the union is actually suing him. Then Disney is the union is allegedly suing. I mean, this is on the headlines. Let me make sure so I don't get my ass sued. But yeah, let me show you guys this right here. This guy has been making headlines, man. All right, so these are the top stories about this guy. This is like 42 minutes ago, 49 minutes ago, an hour ago, and these are different things, right? DeSantis signs Florida immigration bill amid criticism of Biden's border policy, right? DeSantis immigration crackdown as Biden prepares to end Title 42, whatever that is. We got to look into Title 42 as well, so we can know our homework. Florida teachers, this is what I was talking about here. Florida Teachers Union sues, and this was an hour ago. Florida Teachers Union, sues DeSantis over a new law that forces teachers to pay the union through. Let's see. I want to see this. This was interesting to me. I found this pretty interesting. Okay, so Florida teachers. Okay, this is Yahoo News, Business Insider. Let's see. We gotta make sure it's credible, though, man. I mean, it's first thing, top story on the news. It got to be credible. This is sad that that the teachers aren't getting paid the way they should. Pretty much taking them. This is him right here. That face. All right, so let's read the title real quick. All right. Okay, Florida Teachers Union sues DeSantis over a new law that forces teachers to pay union dues through mail and checks. Damn. Forces them to pay. Damn, so they got to pay the union. That sounds a bit like what's that word that starts with an E? Oh yeah, extortion. But let's go. Come on. I don't even know if this is a video. This is Florida DeSantis for the ball player. Oh, you can't play the video. Oh, I can't play it. All right, whatever. Reading is fundamental. Let's go down here and read some of this stuff that we have on this chopping board. Y'all more than welcome to join if y'all got anything to say about this, or y'all want to we just going through some of the stuff that's daily life shit. Just daily life stuff that we don't really talk about, all the foolery and all that other stuff. So going through daily life stuff. We might get into a little science. It's gonna be speed topics. Might get into a little science. Might get into crime and stuff like that that's happening in other states. A couple of speed topics, man. All right, so DeSantis signs a bill into law Tuesday that makes it harder for Florida teachers to stay in unions. All right, teachers now must mail in their dues every month instead of paycheck deductions. Okay, in response, the state's largest teachers union sued. Florida's largest teachers union sued Republican Governor Ron DeSantis on Tuesday over a bill he signed into law that will require teachers who want to be in the union to mail in checks every month. This sounds like a VIC. This sounds like extortion. All right, so the teachers union, and it's a union, I guess. It's funny. All right, so look. The teachers union, the union accused DeSantis of punishing disfavored, quote unquote, disfavored unions. Oh, so he's making it like a racial or a bias thing. I guess they're not really saying color, but disfavored unions sounds like not favorable. All right, so the union accused DeSantis of punishing, quote unquote, disfavored unions through the law given that the new draconian. Wait, I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher this word. Through the new law, given that the new quote unquote draconian restrictions apply to some labor groups, but not those responsible, not those representing firefighters and police officers. Oh, all right, groups that back the governor's policies. So what it sounds like they're saying is these disfavored unions have to pay to pretty much to fit in, or they're getting extorted, they got to pay the Vic. And the firefighters union and the police officers union, the ones that are backing and the other groups that are backing the governor, they can be in that union and not pay or whatever, and I guess go the old-fashioned way. This is crazy. So it's kind of a little confusing as well. I gotta do a little bit more research on it, but it's just crazy, man. Like, oh, this is the okay, nature of action and all this. Okay, this is like all the paperwork and stuff like that on it. Yeah, this is crazy because it sounds like if they got to pay out of their check to be in the union, I mean, you get benefits out of the union, I'm guessing, out of the teachers union. So they got to pay for that. And nobody else and everybody else, like in different fields or different teachers, like different teachers unions don't got to pay, or different unions like that represent police officers or firefighters don't have to pay or mail in anything. And that's wild because, I mean, the teachers, they teaching our kids, our youth, you know what I'm saying? And nobody don't want to teach, then who gonna teach the, you know what I'm saying? Who teaching the kids, you know what I'm saying? And Florida education down here has been like really, really messed up. Let me show y'all this right quick. Let me get back on this. So this is one of the things that he was accused of. I want to actually look this up, this whole teacher thing. We're gonna get into that after that. I'm gonna leave this topic alone. I just want to see what's up with this whole teacher thing. Okay. Yeah, and then we gonna get. Oh no, I told you I was gonna do the Disney thing with y'all too. Yeah, I'm gonna play the video as well where he they talking about he got sued by Disney. This guy's, I mean, he's full on badass right now. He making headlines. He all over the place right now. Hold on, this was a day ago as well. So like right when he passed these laws and did this to the teachers. I mean, what's going on with Ron Santos? Ron DeSantis or DeSantis? What's going on with him right now, man? Ron DeSantis announces $1 billion for teachers paid for Miami-Dade charter school. Okay, so for teachers pay. Okay, so what is all right? So now they're saying something else about it. Now they're making it seem like he's doing good. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at. All right, so I'm surfing through these right now. Let's see what they say about the pay right here. But we'll watch that after this this Disney thing. I want to show y'all that too. We'll watch that. It's so much shit on this man. Like, oh my God. Just in the course of like 2 days, 19 hours is all they're talking about. The course of 2 days is all they've been talking about is this right here. The teacher, the
why did they let all those people in?
Not scandal, but the Disney development and him trying to put that on pause and stun that.
Why the cops just kind of open the door? First, lift up the ropes. Have those?
Yeah, the teachers union suing them. Like, this is a lot of wild shit.
A bill signing blitz.
Sounds like a publicity stunt for him to run. Oh, what's this right here? Let's see.
Governor Ron DeSantis choosing a South Florida school to sign 5 education bills into law. And Local 10's Glenna Milberg was able to question the governor today. She is live now with it all. Glenna.
A bill signing blitz, Calvin, and it is all the result of a very strategic, very concerted effort by this governor and the legislature to literally remake education in Florida. And this is being nationally watched. This may be a bill signing record.
And a big piece of that pie is the education piece. And with
Governor Ron DeSantis signed 5 education-related laws at a private school in Southwest Miami-Dade, where it's good to have the lieutenant governor as a parent.
I'm a true North mom, like so many of you.
The LT who could be governor if DeSantis runs for president and wins, but back to today.
I think we're really leading the way when it comes to teacher empowerment.
The new laws include a teacher's bill of rights, authority to discipline in classrooms, restrictions on unions, teacher development, school board, 8-year term limits, and social media restrictions. The governor called cell phones in class distracting and disrespectful, as some of the adults in this room.
Okay, so let me say this. I seen that as well. So they're kind of like brushing over it. They're not really saying what it is, but they're kind of brushing over it. And I'm not gonna lie, social media in school is very powerful, but it could, like, you know, with kids, obviously they're gonna weaponize it, but social media in school is powerful and I think very much needed. Like, I think that when you see a teacher hitting on a student, or you see a student hitting on a teacher, and that stuff like that goes viral, you see like some type of prejudice going on at the school, or bullying, or mental health issues going on at the school, that stuff go viral. These protests or whatever, when it goes viral, I think that's much needed to see, because it shows like it shows social injustice. It just shows like everything that's going on, like the transparency around the world, like, you know, that you're not alone, or, you know, you're not the only one that's going through this, or you're not the only one that's feeling like this. So I think that them banning, and primarily what I read was he banned TikTok. Now I do agree that TikTok is kind of like perverse at this point. You know, if it's not like a bunch of like girls on there dancing and stuff like that, which, I mean, that's fine. But for school, nah. And then on top of that, you see a lot of like quote, I don't want to say like conscious or anything, but you see like a lot of videos like pushing certain type of like propaganda and narratives, and I think that's bad. So that's the only thing I would say about that part of this of the bill that he signed. But what she's doing is kind of like brushing all over. She's not really getting in depth and getting into the meat and potatoes, because when I read it, it sounded way worse.
Room demonstrated real time.
Put those devices down.
Respectful, as some of the adults in this room demonstrated real time. School board, 8-year term limits, and social media restrictions.
Okay, so teachers are so these are the 5 bills, the laws that he passed. So teachers, Bill of Rights, the union restrictions. This is what we just read, the union restrictions. But she's not going in depth on that. They're making it seem like, you know, it's a good thing. So union restrictions, teacher development, which can mean anything, right? If you might have to go take some classes, you probably went to school to be a teacher, never had to go through this stuff. You're gonna be just teaching the kids and helping the future and helping the youth. And now you go to teacher development because your superior don't like you. Now, teacher development may consider like that could probably be a class or that you got to pay for, right? That can probably be detention for teachers. And if you don't pass a development class, right, it's like going to school all over again while being in school. And it's like a whole cluster jam. But you go to teacher detention or quote unquote teacher development, and you wind up losing either your job, you got to look for another job, or teaching another state, right? I don't know if you got to have different, I don't know if the license vary, like if you can get your degree in Florida and then teach out in California. I don't know how that worked, but I think that it's crazy that it's like all of these new laws, but they're not, and then they're saying like social media restrictions. So does that just go for the students, or is that for the teachers, or that, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's very cloudy message, man. Very cloudy message. I can see a lot of problems coming from these five new laws. They don't seem like big issues, but I can see a lot of problems coming from these 5 new laws. But let's go.
Restrictions. The governor called cell phones in class distracting and disrespectful, as some of the adults in this room demonstrated real time.
Put those devices down and live life normally, and I think we're going to be so much better off if we go down that direction.
The most blowback comes to the new law preventing teachers' unions from deducting dues from teachers' paychecks and requiring 60% representation. Local and national union bosses call it union busting and political payback.
Glenna, hi. You have a question?
You know I do.
Okay.
We asked the governor about that.
You know, the school unions have become very partisan, and that's not what the schools are about.
Man, why they cut it so short, man? And what does he mean by what does he mean by very partisan? Like, that's a very, like, you know, cavalier, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just brushed it off. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that's teaching the youth. Now they got to pay a Vic fee, you know what I'm saying, just to be in the union.
And that's not what the schools are about.
That's wow. But anyways, let's check out this. I want y'all to check out this. Go ahead and moving on to something else, man. Moving on to something else. So this was one of the things that I seen. Okay, let's see this. This was a day ago. Same guy, Making headlines.
That QR codes in all our advertisements, billboards, posters,
Okay. Okie dokie.
posters, you name it. And with Beacon Stats' powerful
Okie dokie.
analytics, I was able to see which ones worked best.
So this is actually coming out of Fox Business. So salute to Fox Business for this content. We're finna get right into it, y'all.
Posters it is.
The Disney versus DeSantis battle is heating up. Florida's governor has signed a bill allowing his oversight board to cancel development agreements at Disney World.
This man going against Disney, man. You can't tell me he ain't finna run for president. Come on now. You got to think.
The Disney versus DeSantis battle is heating up. Florida's governor has signed a bill allowing his oversight board to cancel development agreements at Disney World. It's kind of confusing. Paul Huck is an attorney representing Central Florida's Tourism Oversight District and joins us now. Great to have you on the show, Paul. What does this new rule from the governor actually do?
Sure. Thank you, Ashley. So for about 55 years, Disney had the privilege of essentially governing its own city in the middle of Florida. It appointed the members of the Board of Supervisors. They passed the laws that Disney wanted. They decided how and when to enforce them against Disney. And the Florida legislature decided to change that and bring parity to Disney that is shared by any other business in the state of Florida and the rest of the country, frankly, and has now allowed the governor to appoint an independent board of supervisors to oversee that governing body and bring Disney into the same position that any other Florida business is in.
Let me ask you this. Disney is suing Ron DeSantis. He's saying that he tried to weaponize government power, in other words, retaliate. The judge overseeing the case.
Now look, this is what everybody's saying about him, that he's trying to weaponize governmental power. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this because, you know what I'm saying, he's the Florida governor and all this other shit like that. But check this out. I want to show y'all something. Check this out. This is what he said 6 months ago. And to me, honestly, to be real with you, I think that I think woke means black. I'm not gonna lie. I think when people say woke, they talk about black people that is somewhat conscious, right? Or have like you're into politics, or you know, you actually got a brain. You're doing something other than smoking weed and on the corner and on some pookie shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's what the term woke means, and that's what it's like a code word for like, you know, that's what they use it as. But check this out right here. Check this out. That's a term that they use against, I think, black people. But check this out right here. Check it out here.
We reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
All right, that's wild. Listen to the, we can watch this again. I watch it one more time. Watch it one more time.
I'm in that dope again. I'm in that flow again.
No, we ain't. No, we ain't.
We reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Ain't that something? That's wild, man.
Is Mark Walker. Last year, he called DeSantis' education law dystopian, which begs the question, is this going to be a fair fight in court?
Well, Ashley, I can speak first of all about the state court proceeding that the new board has. Well, Ashley, I can.
The words retaliate. The judge overseeing the case is Mark Walker. Last year, he called DeSantis' education law dystopian, which begs the question, is this going to be a fair fight in court?
Well, Ashley, I can speak first of all about the state court proceeding that the new board has filed in state court.
Bro, look at that shit going down. This is going down.
And we absolutely expect a fair proceeding in that case for three simple reasons. Those development agreements are illegal under Florida law. First, the outgoing board and Disney failed to follow the required public notice requirements of Florida law. Second, the outgoing board tried to give Disney a vast amount of its governing authority, also illegal under Florida law. And finally, for all the goodies that the old board gave to Disney, Disney didn't give anything back to the board, also illegal under Florida law. So we fully expect a fair proceeding in the state court action that we filed down in Orlando. And regarding the federal court proceeding, we believe that the federal court will follow clear federal law and abstain or hold back from doing anything in that case, while the state court can go ahead and decide the issues of state law, which again are clear, and where we believe the court will agree with us that the development agreements are void and unenforceable.
It's fascinating to follow, Paul. We're already out of time, but thank you so much for taking the time out to bring us up to speed. I'm sure we haven't heard the last on this fight, but thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Salute, man. Nip, RP Nip, man. I'm gonna leave that right there for a little while. I'm pulling up something else right quick for y'all. I want to show y'all something. So we're gonna move on to another topic. All right, so this is one that I always wanted to react to, like some crazy animal encounters. So this is one that I'm gonna do right here. I think I might do this one right here. This looks pretty good. This one has 30 scariest animals encounters of the year. Okay, this was 5 months ago. It has 1.4 million views. Oh, what the hell? We'll watch both of them. This one looks pretty good. All right, let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Salute to Claus for the content. YouTube is fair use and educational purposes. I mean, I want to build some context to this, so let's get this reaction going. All right, let's make this big for you guys. Hold on, let's get it. Rewind it. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let me show y'all this right here. Make sure y'all can see everything. Okay. All right, we good. We should be good now. All right, let's go.
Most people think nature is a safe place for fun and adventures. These 12 scary animal encounters unfortunately prove otherwise. Number 12. After watching this clip, I doubt you'll ever want to go skateboarding in nature by yourself. Published in October of 2017, this creepy video starts off with a man calmly skating down a path in the middle of a forest when he suddenly notices a bear lurking around in the distance.
Hello, Yogi. Oh. Hey, mate.
I'm not gonna lie, if the voice keeps going like that, I'm probably gonna leave this video because I think that's kind of cheesy. You know what I'm saying? But and I mean, no disrespect to Claus or whatever, y'all go sub up. But yeah, if the voice keeps going like that, I'm probably gonna watch the other video.
For some reason, the man decides to start slow.
Yeah, and why would you walk up on a black bear like that? I was thinking that too. Like, that's crazy.
Slowly walking towards the predator to get a closer look. What happens next is truly horrifying.
Oh. Holy.
Many minutes go by as the bear continues to walk in the man's direction while he does his best to backtrack his way.
Not a bear walking up on his ass. I think that's probably a reason to go viral. He probably knew that bear would do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't. It's not. This one ain't it, man. It's not intense enough, man. Let me go to the other one. They got a nice thumbnail. It was a nice thumbnail. This one has 1 million. So 30 scariest counters of the year, man. Let's go. Let's check this one out. This might be good.
I believe that WGU is a great option.
Oh yeah.
For the pre-license.
Oh, this is Claus too. Oh man.
Sure, bachelor's degree in nursing.
Okay.
Because I got to work.
At Ranthambore National Park, A group of friends' average safari drive quickly turned into a nightmare when they were horrifyingly chased by a hungry tiger. At first, they began recording after spotting movement in the bushes up ahead.
Oh my God, he's up. Oh my God, he's gonna jump on us.
Hold on. I blow up the screen.
Now in serious fear, the tourists continue driving down the road in hopes of being left alone. But the vicious tiger, unfortunately, has other plans. Not trying to risk their safety any longer, they thankfully decide to drive at full speed away from the area altogether.
Oh, that was number 30.
The beginning of this clip shows a group of tourists slowly approaching an enormous bison peacefully grazing on grass in Yellowstone National.
Now this one is a little bit. I see why you got 1.4 million on this one, Claus. This one is a little bit better now. I like this one. It actually made me jump a little bit inside.
Park.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Eventually, the animal seems to be getting agitated, so some of the tourists try to evacuate the area, but that only makes the beast angrier. Fortunately, the herbivore stops and leaves the group alone in the end.
That was crazy.
A sunny day in Vale Water, South Africa. These men had their enjoyable safari ride take a true...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that was funny and the kid was laughing, but like no lie, if that buffalo would have hit him, like that could have went totally left. Like that would have been a whole nother video. I don't even think he would have been able to put that on his channel.
Truly unpredictable turn when they got charged by a furious hippo. Before anything, they begin recording when they notice the curious animal slowly approaching their car from the road behind them.
Ek dink daai pyn bietjie Isak. Kyk of ons hom hier kan in. Hou maar net in eerste hoor. Sal jy sê as jy kan ry?
Not expecting much to go wrong, they attempt to continue their unusual observation while they have the chance, when things very suddenly go south.
Kom maar bietjie.
Luckily for them, they gain sufficient speed where the animal gives up on the chase and they continue driving away.
I'm not gonna lie, that hippo was kind of fast though.
Mana Pools National Park, a group of vacationers were peacefully enjoying.
I mean, you wouldn't think that the hippo would be that fast, but the hippo was kind of like fast at, like, you know what I'm saying, like for a short burst and speed of time, like, you know what I'm saying, the hippo was kind of fast.
Their breakfast when a furious elephant came and did the unthinkable. At the beginning of the video, the tourists are eating their meals in an open area while a few elephants are seen approaching in the distance.
Little one. Hi, little one. Hi, little. Oh, it's a little boy.
For a time, all seems to be going well. However, things take a downward turn when some of the animals wander into the lunch area.
Try to stay still.
I say stay still. Hey, look, before as we continue, one thing I do want to say about elephants. Did you know that elephants have like an immaculate memory? And most people know this, but the reason that they know this also too is because an elephant literally, I guess the elephant was being tortured or whatever. It had been beaten by this person. The elephant came back and I think it was like 2 or 3 years later or something like that. I'm gonna pull that story up too. Came back and it said that the elephant killed the person, pretty much like deleted the person or whatever, and trampled them or whatever with the tusk and all that other stuff. But they remembered that particular person had hurt them in that village. But I don't know how true that is, but we're gonna look it up though. But y'all check this out.
Despite the group's best attempt to remain still and appear as unthreatening as possible, one of the mammals loses its...
Hey, it's a little boy.
For a time, all seems to
Like,
be
stay
going
still,
well.
stay still.
However, things take a downward
They
turn
won't see
when
us.
some of the animals wander into the lunch area.
Try to stay still. Next to you, be flying.
Despite the group's best attempt to remain still and appear as unthreatening as possible, one of the mammals loses its temper and does this.
Oh, yeah. He was trying to.
In the aftermath of the attack, the officials dismiss the dangerous elephant.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. That could have went left, man. That test could have went through his rib or something like that. And even the other guy looked like he got it worse. Man, bro, Mother Nature is very violent, man.
And it is confirmed that the
And unpredictable.
victims are unharmed.
I mean, at least everybody was okay, but you know, we're on number 26 right now too. It's getting, I ain't gonna lie, they getting better and better. They get a little bit more vicious. But y'all think we're gonna see somebody somebody get bit up or gassed or anything? I don't know. Probably can't show that on YouTube. But I do want to say, let's get into this video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and you are now watching Telescope Channel. When I see like videos like this, they're interesting because it just lets you know how raw and uncut life really is. Like there's no bar, no fence, and nothing to hold you back. And when you're in the wild, when you're in nature, it's so unpredictable. And I think that it's like a universal law that you don't go around a mother's kids. You know, and I think that comes from the animal instinct that's in us, and that comes from nature. Bears, lions, and their cubs, you don't mess with them. You don't mess with the babies. I think that they were eating peacefully, but they were around that baby. They was looking at that baby, and I think that mama elephant caught a whiff of that and put the test on the dude for whatever reason. Both of the guys. That was funny though. Let's get it.
While fishing for muskie, this fisherman nearly jumped to his death when a snake randomly decided to pay him a visit. The video opened.
I'm not gonna lie. This is 26 is already getting good. I always wanted to what he's doing right now. I always wanted to do that with the GoPro, fish and then be on a kayak or a little paddle boat.
Visit. The video opens with the fisherman driving to his chosen location, and upon reaching the said location, he gets into his boat. After getting comfortable in the boat, the man sets up his camera and begins to prepare his fishing gear. Once that is done, he wastes no time throwing in a line.
Now what is in the world is that thing doing trying to eat that?
From the south.
For quite some time, all seems to be going as planned, and the enthusiastic fisherman even manages to secure his first catch. And then, out of nowhere, the unthinkable happens.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a water market from the sun like that.
In a fortunate turn of events, the snake makes its way out of the boat, leaving the frightened man unharmed.
Yeah, that was a water market.
While checking trail cameras with his friend Rachel, this man spotted a sneaky mountain lion spying on them through the bushes and immediately started to panic.
There's a f***ing mountain lion right here. Get back, mountain lion. Get back.
Great peeking.
Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back, mountain lion.
As the animal shows no signs of backing down, the pair do their best to de-escalate the situation while trying to back away slowly.
Look, you know what I was wondering, like when you put your phone out in situations like this, I don't know if they're trying to just capture the moment, but this can go totally left. So like, what are you gonna do with the video? You're gonna like try to hurry and post it before you get eaten alive, or like you just gonna save it and then like drop the phone and still be recording live, or what? Like, you know, because it ain't like you calling for help or anything. You just got the phone out, video recording this pretty much this monster. So like, what are you doing? I never understood that, but let's go.
Just chill. Just chill. Get back! Hey, get back! Get back!
A few moments pass, and the animal nonchalantly starts to retreat back into the woods, giving them the chance to make their escape.
Hey, get back. We're here. We're still here. Go away, mountain lion. We're still here. Oh, it's scratching its claws.
Fortunately, after a while, the mountain lion decides to leave the hikers be, and they make it out safely.
That lion with
This
a
intense clip picks up right as these brave men attempt to scare a nearby tiger away from their village. Unfortunately, the situation escalates rather quickly. Luckily for them, the predator decides to spare the men at the very last second and ends up leaving the area
They got
completely.
man-eating tigers. I knew that was India. They got man-eating tigers in
A
India.
45-year-old man in Bangkok,
That was
Thailand,
crazy. I
was
gotta watch
watching
that one
TV
again.
in his lounge when luckily for them, decides to leave the hikers be, and they make it out safely.
Number 24 is
This intense clip picks up right as these brave men attempt to scare a nearby tiger away from their village. Unfortunately, the situation escalates rather quickly.
That movie, The Jungle Book.
Luckily for them, the predator decides to spare them
Like,
at the very last
Tiger Out the
second
Jungle
and
Book.
ends
I
up
think his name
leaving
was,
the area
the movie
completely.
was called I think the movie was called Mowgli or something
A
like that.
45-year-old man in Bangkok, Thailand, was watching TV in his lounge when he heard some hissing sounds coming out of his living room wall. Having no idea of the terrible situation he was in, he called for help. The rescuers came in and decided to break the plasterboard wall, but what came out of it sent chills down the spine of everyone there.
Snake in the
It
roof.
was a huge python
That
living
pistol
in that
might be
wall
in
for
there.
God knows how long. Rescuers tried getting it out, but it stubbornly remained inside the wall.
It's a big snake.
When the snake finally did come out, it was measured to be 15 feet in length and was transported back to the wild.
That can eat a human.
This next horrifying clip begins by showing a man inside a shark.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. Hey, Claus, man, I might take back what I said, man. You did a number on me. So what we're gonna do is right now, we're gonna subscribe to Claus right now. Make sure you guys see me. You're gonna subscribe to Claus. You subscribe. Let's hit those notification bells so we can be notified every time Claus drop one. Because yeah, man, that's, you know what I'm saying. I like to show love, you know what I'm saying. I want somebody to do the same thing for me. As a matter of fact, y'all make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get back into this this content, man. Claus, you ain't gonna lie, man. You kind of outdid yourself with this one. I see why you got 1.4 million views on this, man. Definitely worth it.
Cage, recording his experience under the deep, dark, and dangerous ocean.
Oh, we got a commercial, y'all.
The drone age has begun in the large-scale military online action game.
You gotta watch the commercial.
Experience completely new game.
While waiting for sharks to circle him, his expectations are quickly thrown out the window when an aggressive and hungry shark does something unexpected. Against all odds, the bone-chilling encounter is far from over as the large predator gets its mouth completely stuck in the cage. Unable to free itself, it starts to panic.
Oh, it's like ripping out teeth and everything.
Thankfully, after a while, the shark manages to wiggle its mouth out, swimming away afterward.
You left food. You left food behind.
The clip begins intensely with a silverback gorilla scaring a group of tourists by doing something extremely terrifying and unexpected. After the first charge, the giant primate does not leave the group alone and
it
continues
ain't
to
no running.
harass the tourist, trying to take pictures of it.
Come this way. Don't worry. Don't run. Don't run.
Oh, you just push the lady. Yeah, it ain't no running from them things.
Trying to de-escalate the situation, the group makes their movements as silent and slow as possible to avoid angering the gorilla further.
It's a good time for a picture.
Huh?
Can I take a picture now of it?
This
Can you
seems
take
to
a
work,
picture
and
now?
the
Are you
animal
serious,
starts to
bro?
walk away, but it...
Listen, I know that this lady is not serious. She just said, "Can I take a picture?" This is the most replayed part. He said, "Can I take a picture?" Like, are you serious? You really want to take a picture right now? This gorilla is gonna smack your whole face off. Like your lips, your eyes, your nose is gonna be somewhere in West Africa off of your face. So
It's a good time for a picture.
Huh?
Can I take a picture now of it?
This seems to work, and the animal starts to walk away, but it unfortunately decides to show them one last act of aggression. Luckily, it let go of the woman relatively quickly, leaving no one harmed.
He pulled her like she was a piece of paper.
Calmly walking around in the African wilderness, this Russian tourist came across a huge hippo and suddenly decided to run after it.
Сейчас будем бежать за бегемотом.
Surprisingly, the animal immediately runs in fear as the brave man keeps chasing it down. Feeling satisfied with what he's done, he simply turns around and goes back to minding his own business. This terrifying video starts off with two hunters in a tree stand who had just spotted a black bear below them and quickly started recording. Moments later, the predator becomes overly curious and tries to climb up their tree, prompting them to prepare for the worst.
Oh yeah, this is bad.
Cautious and afraid of the black bear getting close to them, the man recording decides that he has no other choice but to pull out his bear spray and do this. After getting sprayed in the face, the animal can finally be seen running away from those hunters' tree, going as far as possible.
Oh, that's probably like mace.
In Miami, Florida, a sewer fishing trip got out of hand when the crew members came face to face with a Burmese python. Watch to see what they did next. As soon as the crew initially reaches the sewer they have chosen to fish in, they catch sight of a humongous snake and immediately get the idea of potentially pulling it out.
We were gonna sewer fish and there's a huge snake.
Straight down, there's a huge snake. Right here is right on its body. It's like right above it. Can you guys see that or no?
Frightened and intrigued at the same time, the men decide to call their friend Jacob, who has experience with snakes, to handle the situation. A few minutes later, Jacob arrives at the scene, and after putting all necessary safety measures in place, he ventures down the sewer. Moments later, he emerges holding this.
I'm okay. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! That's so much bigger than my gosh! No!
After getting over their initial shock, the group helps Jacob lay the majestic predator on the ground so they can get a good look at it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
That's a man eater
Oh my gosh, guys!
That's a man
Look at the size of this!
Unfortunately, the video ends as the men are still deciding what to do with the snake, so it is unclear how things played out in the end.
Yeah, that's
The
definitely a
Lugenda
man-made
River of Mozambique. A fun kayaking expedition quickly turned into a real-life.
But funny enough, I don't know if you guys know, but there actually is a show where they talk about what goes on in Florida. So down here in Florida, the pythons are very, very invasive. And I mean, somebody had one as a pet. They're not native to the land. Somebody had one as a pet, let it go, and they lay eggs like crazy. They eat up all of the wildlife and people's cattle and stuff like that. These things are very powerful animals and very evasive and aggressive. So what they did in Florida is they started to pay people to go out and find the snakes and kill them. So they made a show about it. You guys should go check it out. I think it's called Snake Hunting or something like that. But it's pretty good. Let's get back into it. What number this is? What number we on, y'all? What number we on? That was definitely a man eater, bro. That's a man eater, bro.
The video ends as the men are still deciding what to do with the snake, so it is unclear how things played out in the end.
Oh, 17.
The Lugenda River of Mozambique. A fun kayaking expedition quickly turned into a real-life nightmare when these tourists got attacked by a territorial hippo. Originally, everything seems to be going according to plan, until the man recording suddenly hears something storming through the bushes to his left.
Hippo. That's one thing about them hippos, boy. Them things, they fat, they big, but they is dangerous, bro. Like hippos' jaws, like can crush grapefruit, all type of stuff, pumpkins in just one smash. I seen a hippo eat like 2 pumpkins at one time, eating 2 pumpkins, just like there's like a whole compression, like a garbage disposal, bro. Like they're very strong. And from the first video that we just watched, I did not know that hippos was that fast when they was chasing that car. I ain't gonna lie, man. Oh, big fucking hippo. That's what he said. I'm not gonna lie, man. These commercials kind of messing up our emotion a little bit right now, man. All right, so let's watch it from the beginning.
Expedition quickly turned into a real-life nightmare when these tourists got attacked by a territorial hippo. Really originally, everything seems to be going according to plan, until the man recording suddenly hears something storming through the bushes to his left.
Big nipper. That was nipper for sure, yo. I just kept charging. He was feeding.
After all grouping back together just in case, they eventually decide to keep going with their expedition as originally planned when something downright horrifying happens.
Just watch, because he charged down this channel there.
They don't believe it. Oh.
Now, seriously concerned about their safety, they finally decide to cut their expedition short and call it a day completely.
I'm sure they did. Smart.
This next terror-striking animal encounter begins by showing a recording of fishermen spearfishing in the deep blue waters of Australia's Coral Sea. The clip shows one of the fishermen trying to haul a fish that he speared, while a larger fish tries to steal it from him.
That's a big fish.
The other fish poses no problem for the fishermen at first, but things eventually escalate as other unwanted visitors join in on the fun.
X-Man coming. Oh, lemon shark's on him. Oh my God.
Thinking that their situation couldn't get any worse, the fisherman recording then gets the fright of his life when this happens.
See, that's the only thing about spearfishing. That's the only thing. Them sharks, them tacks, man.
Surprisingly, they are able to keep calm despite the shark feeding frenzy going on just a few feet from them. Thankfully, the frenzy ends after a while, and they are able to swim away unharmed.
And that was a good one.
While taking a walk in the wild, this cameraman was surprised to come across a diamondback rattlesnake and decided to film it from closer.
Idiot. You even know his eyes was closing.
For a few seconds, all appears calm, and the cameraman gets quality footage of the snake. However, things quickly take a terrifying turn.
That's a beautiful snake, though. I'm not gonna lie, but I would never.
The video ends abruptly with the snake still in striking position, so we can only hope that the man made it out of there safely.
Dang, number 14.
Filmed in Kruger National Park, these tourists can be seen recording a large elephant in the middle of the road, blocking their path. When the animal spots their vehicle, it immediately sets its sights on them and starts walking in their direction with a menacing demeanor.
But these elephants don't be playing.
Gewoon stil blijven staan of zo?
Ja, samen stil. Elephants and hippos look aggressive, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Luckily, they managed to put some distance between them and the giant, yet this doesn't discourage the majestic animal from proving its dominance. As the elephant finally steps off the road, the group tries to move on with their trip in peace, but something absolutely shocking happens. Scared and terrified by the giant's actions, screams of terror can be heard coming from the tourists as they proceed to drive away in reverse, putting an end to the video.
Number 13.
A family in South Carolina got the shock of their lives when they spotted a huge alligator trying to break into their house through the plate glass windows. Panic struck them all. The homeowners were left locked inside their house and called the rescuers to subdue and transport the reptile, but the alligator was in no mood to leave the place.
You're looking out the window, you see that.
The rescuers tried hosing down the aggressive animal and tying ropes around it, but no one expected what the stubborn reptile did in reaction to that.
That thing was aggressive, yeah.
The huge predator knocked everything out of its way, but the rescuers finally got the upper hand and dragged it out of the neighborhood.
You might see that for real, like, do not engage.
At a national park in Nepal, a few men driving down the road unexpectedly came across a rather large tiger that didn't seem so happy about having visitors. Initially, they decide to pull over after spotting the animal walking across the road up ahead.
Well, you can't really see it, but it is a big male Bengal tiger.
Contrary to what most would do, the men end up driving up towards the animal in hopes of getting a closer look.
Oh my God, he is beautiful. He's looking behind. He looks very pissed off. We're leaving. The tiger was pissed off.
As the tiger disappears back into the forest, they grab this opportunity to drive away while they still can.
I chose WGU
Man, like, a tiger might
because it was
walk away and then circle back around and watch you. Like, tigers are like real, like the ultimate predator machine, man. I'm not gonna
more
lie.
affordable
From their coat to how they, like, their eyes, everything, they're built for like hunting.
and efficient.
It's getting good. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's getting good. Number 11.
This terrifying clip hails from the Indian state of Karnataka, where a snake rescuer named Ashok Kumar had the fright of his life when he went in to rescue a snake from a house. The animal was hiding in the bathroom, and the house owner called Ashok to transport it back into the wild. But
cobra.
no
That's
one
definitely
there
what
had
it is. Yeah, that's
any
a cobra.
idea what a monster they were dealing with.
Yeah, man, you want to be careful with that, man.
When the snake slithered to the floor of the bathroom, the man pulled the tail of the reptile to drag it out into the open. But it was the biggest miscalculation of his life.
What? You got caught that thing? Oh,
The way that 14-foot-long king cobra stood up with its flared hood froze the blood of Ashok, but the man composed himself immediately and rescued the snake and took it back to its home in the jungle.
That's crazy.
To begin this scary encounter, a small group of tourists can be seen recording a cheetah during their game drive in Masai Mara. For a while, the predator seems to be inspecting the vehicle and the people inside of it, but moments later, the video cuts to reveal this terrifying sight. The curious cheetah managed to climb inside the vehicle, and surprisingly, the tourists managed to keep calm, despite having a lethal hunter right behind them.
I want this cat to slap me, man.
After a few minutes that must have felt like hours, the animal has a sudden change of plans and starts exploring other parts of the vehicle, leaving everyone inside on edge.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the cheetah turned out to be rather passive and left the scene shortly thereafter. This video begins with what is seemingly a calm video during a spearfishing trip, but a few seconds later, something extremely terrifying catches the unsuspecting fisherman by surprise.
Always, I'm telling you, it's always a tax man. They must have been killing around already.
After the close encounter, he grabs his partner's legs to inform him of the danger lurking below them.
That was a big shark, too. That was a really big shark. It might be in Australia. Or a great white or something like that.
Unfortunately, the clip ends early, and their fate still remains a mystery.
Yeah, they done. Number 8.
This terrorizing clip begins by showing two men walking towards a residential pond, which is allegedly home to a giant and aggressive alligator.
Look at that snakehead right there. Do you see that snakehead?
Yeah. Oh, he's big.
Upon seeing the alligator, they don't waste time and immediately get to work attempting to catch it, but things don't remain peaceful for long.
That is a big gator.
The struggle goes on for a few minutes as they seem to be having a pretty hard time pulling the heavy animal away from the pond.
Do not let him go back. He's trying to go back.
After successfully catching the predator by its neck, one of them proceeds to do the riskiest move by far in an attempt to hold it down.
Idiot.
Hold this full.
Push it down on him?
No, I'm gonna pull it up.
Now that the enormous reptile's mouth is sealed shut, they finally gain the confidence to haul the giant animal to their truck. The rest of the extraction goes smoothly, thanks to their skills and experience.
They gonna cook him.
On a rural road in India, a few innocent civilians were unlucky enough to come way too close to a fearless tiger trying to mind its own business. Originally, they quickly begin recording after spotting the animal walking out of the bushes just a few feet away.
They keep on messing with these tigers, bro. I'm telling you, these tigers ain't nothing to be messed around with. Look how that tiger just blended in.
With everyone there absolutely frozen in fear, the predator begins calmly walking alongside the dirt road towards another group of terrified civilians.
Wait.
Nori, wait. It's here, it's coming.
After a few minutes, the tiger reveals itself once again and decides to go get a closer look of the cars up ahead.
Bas, bhaiya. Shh, keep quiet. Oh, it's getting irritated. It's not supposed to.
With the predator still lurking nearby, they unfortunately stop.
Now, James, bring all those
they keep
babies.
messing with these
Okay.
tigers, bro. I'm telling you, man. That tiger. See, his page is not that gruesome.
Hey, this is baby Logan.
Salute the claws, but his page ain't that gruesome. PG. They keep on messing with them tigers, bro. I'm telling you.
Stop recording, and what happens next remains unknown.
Number 6, man.
In Marshy Point Nature Center, an exploring YouTuber paid the ultimate price for getting on the bad side of a vicious copperhead snake. The clip begins as we see the snake enthusiast taking a walk in the park with his camera turned on in hopes of spotting worthwhile ophidians.
Hoping to hike a snake up or two.
Yeah, that was
a couple hours to kill, so without further ado, let's get to it and see what we can find.
For a time, the snake sighting adventure appears to be rather uneventful, and then, out of nowhere, things take a frightening turn.
Oh, no.
Oh, he know
Not
what
good.
it is. You know what
Not
it is.
good.
You gotta be about cocktail.
Immediately after getting bitten, the man remains calm and finds a way to inform the appropriate authorities, who in turn step in and handle the situation professionally.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It just stings a little bit.
It just stinks a little bit? Okay. All right, buddy.
Okay, cool.
We need to get you in that Kubota. We're going to drive you out here.
Eventually, the explorer is taken to the hospital, where it is confirmed that it was a dry bite, and he is discharged shortly after.
Oh, the drive-by. Oh, okay.
A man from Chachoeng Sao, a city in central Thailand, found his dog barking incessantly at his home garage. He went in to check, having no idea what he was going to encounter. A 7-foot-long monitor lizard had made the garage its home. The owner called in rescuers to remove the lizard, but the reptile was more dangerous than they thought it to be.
They're in Thailand. You in different countries, you go to different places, you're gonna see stuff like that.
The officers moved the black Honda car, beneath which the monstrous lizard was hiding, and used brute force to take hold of it, which was a big mistake. Finally, when the animal tried escaping through the fence, the rescuers got a chance to tackle it down. They brought the lizard to the ground, tied it with ropes, and sent it back where it belonged.
Number 4.
At an Indian wildlife safari, a group of friends had their relaxing expedition turn into a truly dangerous situation when they decided to closely follow an innocent tiger. In the beginning, things pick up rather quickly when they notice the predator walking right towards their car. Trying to mind its own business, the animal simply passes them up and continues walking up the road when the tourists suddenly decide to go after it.
He turned around like, I want problem.
The clip then jumps to a later moment where the group appears to be still following the tiger around the safari. Eventually, though, they come to realize that the predator seems to be, unfortunately, heading towards them once again.
What sighting,
Luckily, the animal simply walks by as if nothing is happening, and the tour.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles.
Man, I know you're getting monetized.
The online action game War
Video in Peace
Thunder has received a major update. Direct hit.
Tourists finally decide to move on.
Come on, number 3. Come on.
This petrifying clip starts off with a man recording his snowmobile riding session in a snowy forest in the mountains.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The Cobra video was scarier. It was definitely scarier than that video. And the elephant video, I mean, the hippo video when the hippo jumps up out of the water was definitely scarier than that video. So I don't know. You probably got to change the numbers up on that one right there.
However, his supposedly relaxing snowmobile session quickly fell apart after he met an unexpected visitor waiting for him on top of the mountain.
Mountain lion, what is it? What is it? That's a bear? What is it? What is that? Oh, it looks like a wolf.
Upon seeing the huge bear staring right at him, the rider hastily swerves in another direction and starts speeding away just in case.
Grizzly bear.
Thankfully, he managed to dodge the danger in time and continued his ride like normal.
Like how his ears is up. Number 2.
On a river in Africa, a group of friends went out on an exciting fishing adventure when they unfortunately ended up being stalked by a relentless hippo. For most of the day, things seem to be going well as they spend their time successfully fishing around the lake, all while recording their every move. At some point, though, they notice a sneaky hippo in the distance, staring them down.
Scott, just wait until that hippo goes away. Why not? I'll cast on your head.
Yeah, cast on your head.
This thing is smart. It knows it.
Boy, if this thing comes for us, it's over.
After doing their best to ignore the animal and continue fishing, they eventually begin to feel unsafe and decide to move to a different spot of the lake. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't take very long before their stalker shows up once again.
I'll cast on their head and scare them.
They're predatory.
Hey, look.
Oh!
Wait. It won't come.
Let's go before they come up. Exactly.
Okay, let's go up that other funny river then.
A few minutes go by when they eventually decide that they won't be risking their safety any longer and thankfully proceed to drive away from the area entirely.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing y'all did. Number 1. Let's see what number 1
On
got,
Easter Day, this little girl was out egg hunting around her house when she suddenly had the scare of her life. Watch to see what exactly happened. At the start of the video, the girl is happily walking around the premises searching for Easter eggs under the watchful eyes of her parents.
Come on, help me cheat.
She's good. You should have seen her at school the other day. We had one.
After finding one egg in the potted plants, the excited child decides to take her search to the edge of the nearby bushes, but she ends up finding something else.
Right there. Oh my God. Come here, look.
Oh, damn, now that's a snake.
A few minutes go by as the family observes the animal in shock while making sure not to get too close. Eventually, though, the snake realizes that it has been spotted and does this.
He saw something that looked like an egg.
What
there.
kind of snake is that?
That's just a typical.
It's not poisonous. Damn, it's fast.
Luckily, the snake simply disappeared under the pavement and left everybody there unharmed.
Dang, man, that was good, man. I'm not gonna lie, that was good. That was a good one, man. Salute the claws, man. It was a great reaction, man. I enjoyed watching that with the family over here.
With Shopify's mobile.
With no further ado, man, I'm probably gonna load up and probably make another show. But that was good, man. I'm glad y'all came in, man. Salute. I might post like little clips of that on the homepage just so y'all can see it or whatever. But yeah, that was, I ain't gonna lie, man. That snake one, you got, hey, Claus, man, you gotta probably do a little more changing on the ratings. But I think number 14 and number 11, man, was probably the scariest ones. You know what I'm saying? Besides like all of the encounters, but that snake made me jump. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen that King Cobra, bro, I'm like, bro, made me jump. And then also the hippo that came out of water out of nowhere. But salute, man. With no further ado. Peace and blessings to the tribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I love you all, man. Thanks for coming to watch, man. Salute, man. Got another broadcast coming up, so y'all get ready.